Good morning, all. Myself, Dr. Shabnam Shah, Associate Professor, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Faculty of Pharmacy Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Jaipur. Today, our topic is postpartum pregnancy. Postpartum pregnancy is also known as post maturity. Prolonged and postpartum pregnancy means post maturity. So, what do you mean by post maturity? In post maturity, whenever the pregnancies extend beyond 2 weeks of expected date of delivery is post maturity. Means almost it is more than 294 days. So, uh, postpartum pregnancy or post maturity is whenever the pregnancy is extended 2 weeks beyond the expected date of delivery. That is 40 weeks are completed full term. Then 2 weeks more means 42 weeks. Whenever it extends beyond 42 weeks, that is whenever the days are more than 294 days, then it is known as post maturity or prolonged postpartum pregnancy. Incidence is almost about 10%, that is in between 4 to 14%. So, what is the etiology? What are the positive factors that may lead to post maturity or that may be you can call it as postpartum pregnancy whenever the wrong dates means whenever the patient is generally this happens in illiterate females whenever they don't know the proper LMP. So when there is inaccurate LMP told by the patient, then there might be the chances we can assume or we can term it as a post maturity or postpartum pregnancy. Second one is hereditary. Hereditary means whenever there is family history, specifically whenever maternal history is there, then the patient might experience postpartum pregnancy. Maternal factors, maternal factors, primipara. Again, previous prolonged pregnancy means previous history of prolonged or post maturity. Then patient may experience post maturity next time. Sedentary habit, sedentary lifestyle. Whenever patient is not physically much active, then it may lead to during pregnancy. Then it may lead to post maturity. Elderly, multipara. Whenever the age is more than 35, then there may be chances of post maturity. Fetal factors, congenital anomalies. Congenital anomalies, specifically anencephaly. In anencephaly, there is absence of brain, so abnormal fetal hypothalamo-pituitary axis and adrenal hypoplasia diminished fetal cortisol secretion and response. Then there will be post-maturity. Again, placental factors, sulfatase deficiency. This is an enzyme. So, because of this enzyme deficiency, there will be low estrogen secretion, and low estrogen secretion it will lead to postpartum pregnancy. It is also known as Austin's disease. Diagnosis. So diagnosis is somewhat difficult. So we have to go for the history, ANC points, and again some of the investigation, and that may lead to proper diagnosis. So menstrual history, proper menstrual history is very important. The cycle must be regular. Patient cycle, menstrual cycle is regular or irregular. Patient conceived in lactational or menoric period, or she was taking pills, contraceptive pills. So all these conditions, there might be confusion for the LMP. So this may lead to postpartum pregnancy. Again, in clinical findings, weight record. So whenever the periodic weight checking is there will be after 40 weeks, there will be no weight gain or weight gain will be stationary, and there might be falling weight. Weight might be decreased of that female. Abdominal girth, abdominal girth generally diminished because of lycorrhea. Lycorrhea will be decreased in post maturity. History of false pain. Generally, patient complains of false pain, that is pain in abdomen, lower abdomen during this postpartum period, and that pain will subside gradually without any medicinal interference that is suggestive of generally post maturity. Obstetric palpation. So, in this period, generally, whenever the post maturity, their fundal height will be decreased because Licher amni will be less. Oligohydramnios is very common in post maturity. So, on examination, fundal height will be less of that of gestational age. Again, size of the fetus, many parts of the fetus is felt as there will be amniotic fluid will be less, and hardness of skull bones can be felt very easily, and that is generally diagnostic for the post maturity whenever it is coincide with the history. Next one is internal examination. In internal examination, there will be ripening cervix as per fetal maturity, but here the cervix will not be ripened, and there will be skull bones will be felt much hard, and that will be suggestive of post maturity. So, investigation, how you will determine the fetal maturity. So, first important is LMP, date of LMP. Early ultrasound. Dating in early ultrasound means EDD is given in ultrasound, and that EDD that will give the gestational age in early ultrasound, that is generally give some indication for the fetal maturity. Again, ask the patient about the timing of intercourse, that might we can diagnose about the maturity of the fetus. So determination of fetal maturity here by clinically and by some investigations we can determine the maturity of the fetus. The first one clinically is LMP as we are already seen. Fetal heart sound we have to diagnose on 20 weeks whenever the patient is coming for the ANC. So auscultation for the fetal heart. Fundal height as per gestational age whenever we are doing regular checkup of the patient for ANC, filling of the head at term, amount of Licher amni, and condition of the cervix is important. Investigation point of view, non-invasive investigation and invasive investigation. Non-invasive almost always sonography. In first trimester, CR length, that is crown rump length, it is important diagnostic in first trimester. In second trimester, biparietal diameter and femoral length. Third trimester, again BPD, head circumference, abdominal circumference, and femoral length is seen. For the diagnosis, in first trimester, second and third. Again, amniotic fluid volume has to be measured. In invasive, amniocentesis can be done so that it may indicate the fetal maturity. Again, fetal maturity insured. So, fetal maturity in complicated cases and uncomplicated cases. This is some part of management basically. Management in the post maturity. How you will manage. So fetal surveillance is very important. Non-stress test has to be done. Amniotic fluid volume estimation is very important. Again, in uncomplicated cases, if at all patient doesn't have any complication and cervix has been right, then stripping of membrane has to be done. That is artificial rupture of membrane has to be done. If the Licher amni is clear, then oxytocin drip and vaginal delivery has to be ensured. And if at all Licher amni is meconium stain, then depending on the condition of the fetus, if at all fetal acidosis, then cesarean section has to be done. And if at all the satisfactory fetal condition is there, then vaginal delivery is ensured. Whenever the cervix is unripe, then there will be vaginal administration of prostaglandins, 6 hourly, prostaglandin J also, tablet also. Then cervix get ripened, artificial rupture of membrane has to be done, and then depending on the Licher amni condition, like Licher amni is clear, then oxytocin drip and vaginal delivery is ensured. If at all meconium aspiration is there, then depending on the fetal condition, cesarean and vaginal delivery has to be done. In complicated cases, whenever the cervix is favorable, artificial rupture of membrane has to be done. Licher amni is stained with meconium, Then depending on the basically scalp blood pH, fetal scalp blood pH has to be done. If at all acidosis is there, then cesarean section is indicated, and if at all normal pH is there, then vaginal delivery has to be ensured. Whenever the cervix is unfavorable, then vaginal delivery has to be done. Clinically, by the condition of the baby, how you will diagnose the baby is post-mature. Generally, on general appearance, the baby looks very thin and old. Skin is generally, usually wrinkled. There will be absence of vernix caseosa, and body and cord are stained with greenish yellow color. Again, weight of the baby is generally more than 3 kg. Length is about length of the baby more than 54 centimeter, 54 or more than 54 centimeter. Again, Lycaramne will be less. Placenta, there will be evidence of aging of placenta will be there. Infection will be seen, calcification may be seen on the placenta. Again, cord, Wharton's jelly will be diminished. Diminished Wharton jelly is the diagnostic whenever you will examine the cord. Complications of postpartum pregnancy. In complications, first one is placental insufficiency. Complications, in complications, placental insufficiency, because of placental aging will be there, there will be placental insufficiency. So in fetus, what are the complications? During pregnancy, there will be diminished placental function, so oligohydramnios will be there, meconium stain liquor will be there, so fetal hypoxia will be there. Fetal hypoxia because of less liquor amnoid, and fetal distress may be seen. Again, during labor, because of fetal hypoxia, whenever the oxygen is less, whenever the oxygen is less, then there will be fetal acidosis. Again, labor dysfunction might be there. So, like prolonged labor might be there. Again, meconium aspiration might be there. Risk of cord compression because of oligohydramnios. Shoulder dystocia because of the baby weight is much more, size will be more. Again, increased incidence of birth trauma to the baby also. Excessive the weight gain of the fetus will be there, so that it might cause birth trauma to the mother also and to the fetus also. Non-molding of head due to the hardening of the skull bones. Skull bones are generally hard whenever the post maturity is there, so their non-molding can be seen. Again, operative interference generally increased after birth, following birth, uh, chemical pneumonitis, atelectasis, and pulmonary hypertension because of the meconium aspiration. There may be the fetus may suffer from hypoxia. Because of hypoxia, gas score will be less. Respiratory failure, the fetus, the neonate might be suffer from. Again, hypoglycemia and polycythemia may be seen, and the neonate generally has to be admitted in NICU, neonatal intensive care unit. Then the risk of stillbirth is increased in post maturity. Maternal complications. Post maturity, generally mother is not on that much risk for maternal mortality, but morbidity will be there. So morbidity is because of the increased operative interference. Again, birth trauma to the genital tract trauma might be there. So maternal morbidity will be there. So thank you very much. This is all about postpartum pregnancy. So if at all you are having any query, so please mention in the comment box. So I will try to resolve it. Thank you very much.